welcome to the part two. The topic of science and religion for this lecture. Um, in this part, we're going to look at the limitation of science and the concept of scientism. Let's start. So, limitation of science. We have talked about the difference between religion and science, the definition of religion and science. So we're going to look at the limitation of science. There are many limitations of science if you're going to go and Google and study, but these are the three that we're going to learn in this lecture. So science can't answer questions about value. Science can't answer questions about morality. Science also cannot help us with the questions about supernatural. So let's start. Science cannot answer questions about value. Okay, I'll give you an example. Which of this flower in this picture here is prettier? There is no scientific answer to answer this question. The way you're gonna answer that question is based on your opinion, your value, your experience, not really based on your scientific evidence. Because even if you provide scientific evidence, it's probably gonna be different from one person to another person. So that's a question about value, question about which one is prettier, which one is more beautiful. So another more obvious example is which is more valuable, 1 ounce of gold or 1 ounce of steel. So if you are based on the value of our culture, we're going to say that gold is more valuable. But if you are looking at building a skyscraper with gold, which is a very soft metal, it is pretty useless because um, you need the steel rather than the gold. So there is no scientific way to determine value. Next, science cannot answer question on morality. So the problem is deciding which one is right or which one is wrong, which one is good, which one is bad is out of the determination of science. Okay, scientists does not have the final say in making about or decision about moral debates on certain issues. Taking an example of human cloning, the question whether human cloning is right or wrong is determined by cultural and social rules, and sometimes with the religion's rules. So, in other words, the morality. So, science cannot help answering this question, whether it's right or wrong, but science may only help in explaining the benefit and risk. Hence, it will provide all this evidence whether it bring you more good or less good, but at the end of the day, it's based on the morality. So that's why you have ethics in science. So the third limitation of science is science cannot help us with the questions about the supernatural. So the prefix super means above or beyond. So supernatural means above or beyond natural. The toolbox of science contains only the natural laws of the universe. So supernatural questions are outside their reach. Taking an example of ghosts. Even though there are people trying to measure the existence of ghosts and everything, it is rather still beyond the natural law. So science cannot really help us with this question of ghosts, whether the ghost exists, whether there is a ghost. Okay, that's quite scary. Okay, so that's basically it. They cannot help us. Science cannot help us with the question about supernatural. So next, the concept of scientism. Why is this concept is important? So we are talking about science and religion. We have science as what science is. We also have religion as what religion is. Science and scientism has a similar content that they study, but apparently they have a different worldview. Okay, scientism claims that science is the only way that can render or that can prove the truth about the world and the reality. So basically, scientism sees science as the absolute and only justifiable access to the truth. If you look at some dictionary definition of scientism, that says that it's an extreme trust of science, saying that is the only way to find the truth. Um, by saying that it does not acknowledge other um, disciplines such as philosophy, epistemology, what more religion. So scientism sees it's necessary to do away with most, so basically not not including not acknowledging, if not all, metaphysical, philosophical, religious claims as the truth they proclaim cannot be apprehended by the scientific method. So, according to scientism, which basically saying that anything that cannot be measured scientifically is unreal. So, anything that is metaphysic or anything that is beyond supernatural is not existent. It's non-existent. So there's no God, no angels, no devil, no good, no evil, no survival of physical death, no non-physical realities, um, and no ultimate meaning of purpose to life. With that, no heaven, no afterlife. So it's quite, if you ask me, it's quite a deduction of how our life is, because we are people who believe in God, we are people who believe in religion, we believe there are souls, we are believe there are goods and bad. So this scientism is somehow an extreme opinion that is go against with what our religion teach. Um, Bear in mind that scientism, most of the followers or most of people who popularize scientism are um, sorry to say, science communicator who are popular. So, but yeah, that's just how science and religion discourse is. So, I'm gonna talk to you in the next slide about the models of science and religion. So, I'll see you in the next slide, next lecture.